All right, let's go.
What's up?
Long week, happy, ready to go, ready to get to crash.
I know. I feel
All
like,
the things.
but do you feel like it's moving fast? Like I can't believe tomorrow's Wednesday already.
Yeah, no, I definitely feel like we're moving fast.
Yeah, I'm excited.
For sure.
I'm definitely excited.
So, what did we see? Or what did I see?
I was gonna say more of what did you see? What did you see?
So I was catching up on everything. I was catching up on like Hiller. I was catching up on Sevon. I was catching up on everybody. And of course,
that was definitely my dog that just hit the table.
So of course I clicked on Hiller's video with Brian Friend on it, right?
Okay.
Like I absolutely want to see what he's going to say about that.
Yeah.
And to my absolute amazing surprise, he's in there talking about the Nelk boys. I am now in love because Hiller is talking about the Nelk boys.
Now you have to explain to most people
I am
who
so excited. And he's talking about the squat depth of his wall balls.
Oh.
Right? So here, I'll show you this. Because this is just so much fun for me. And I don't know where
or how
I
this
tried
happened.
to find this on Kyle's page.
Okay.
But I couldn't. So it's Kyle. It's the one that leads the Nelk boys.
Okay.
Right? And so Hiller's messing with his
squat.
Obviously, it's
lack
not
of yes.
Yeah, it's not what we do when we do wall balls or what we consider to be like the standard.
Right.
I can't. For the love of God, I hope Kyle answers him. I hope the Nelk boys answer him. I hope. So if you don't know who the Nelk boys are,
yes, tell us.
They have a channel that's literally the Nelk boys, and then they have a channel called Full Scent. And the Nelk Boys channel is just like, it's a channel that they do kind of, if you remember Jackass back in the day, or like they do.
Yes.
Yeah. They do crazy pranks. They're fun. And then if you go to the Full Send podcast that they have, then it's like weird. They've had Candace Owens. They've had Theo Vaughn. They've had freaking everybody that you can even imagine is on that podcast. It's JD Vance, RFK, Don Lemon, Dana White.
Jeez.
Like they literally had
these boys have gotten all of these people to go on their podcast.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Like,
do you know any of their like background? Like how they got?
I have no idea. I think it started with the Jackass Steve-O kind of stuff, kind of content.
Yeah.
And so I think because that page, the Nelk Boys page, is bigger than the Full Send page.
Okay.
But the Full Send page has UFC fighters, everybody that's relevant in the pop culture.
Yeah.
And then they have political figures, like legit political figures.
They got the
that
people
you would never imagine would be on these guys' shows. And they do no research. They were scared as
Wait, are these the same guys that you showed me once with
Vindicate? I don't find anything intriguing about them. Fair. I get it. They're it's a complete. It's like if you like watching Keeping It, they are an embarrassment to humanity. Okay, that's fine. Fair. If you guys think that, fine.
Are they the ones that they had Schultz on? Are those the same guys that you showed? Okay.
And Schultz absolutely destroyed them because they did no research on him. They had no idea what his stand-up comedy looked like. They had no idea. They don't know. They don't do research at all on anybody that they're interviewing.
Yeah.
And so it's when Hiller called them out,
Were you so surprised? Like, wait, what am I watching? I had to do like triple.
How does he even know about the Nelk boys? How did he find Kyle's page? It was,
well, it's a fitness competition. It's High Rock. Dude, of course he's going to.
But it was almost just like, hey, I don't know. I think they started their podcast back when podcasts were relatively
brand new.
They've been doing it for a long time.
Yeah, when they were brand new.
And so I think they found their popularity through that.
Mm-hmm.
And they've leveraged it. Like, God bless them. They figured out how to do it. They're doing it. Awesome sauce.
Mm-hmm.
Dude. So Hiller's calling them out on the wall balls.
Right.
Which is also kind of calling them out on their podcast. The same way that Schultz did. Mm-hmm. Schultz literally went on their podcast, and if you get 10 minutes into it, you realize they don't really know what Schultz does. They don't know
who he is and
his stand-up, that he has a wife, like any of that. They know nothing.
A kid. Yep.
And
I believe this. God. I believe this Vindicate right here. I'm sure someone saw it and said Hiller can have a field day with this. Yeah, I can believe that.
Dude, it's like it's amazing. I really hope that Kyle answers him. I really hope that Hiller gets to go on that podcast, or that they go on Hiller's podcast.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it would break the internet in a good way. Like in an amazing way.
Yeah.
And I think it would be a really fun conversation because they're just exposed because they don't do any research.
So I think what it's sounding like is that they have their own community. They have their own society that they're a part of. They've been around the block for a while. They have their own shit. But like now that Hiller has brought them into the CrossFit community, everybody is like, who is this? Like, who are these boys? Why are we paying so much attention to them? And
they're going to get a ton of exposure out of this.
Of course. Listen, any exposure is exposure. So
I really hope they get to go back and forth on Instagram. And I think that, I think Hiller will have a field day. The poor Nelk boys, I don't think they know who's tagging them just yet.
You mean that you don't think that they know who Andrew Hiller is?
No, but I think it's going to be fun.
No rep videos and how we live for his no rep videos when it comes to CrossFit, and how now High Rock is essentially.
It's if you see them, and I get it, you think they're not funny or whatever. Like, they're a bunch of 30-something or late 20s, early 30-something guys that have a lot of money. That I don't think any of them have kids. Mm-hmm. I know Steiny is the little one that always usually that's who I thought it was. I thought when Hiller made the video in quick glance, I thought it was Steiny.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, oh, he's about to catch all the crap that he always catches. Mm-hmm. He catches so much shit all the time.
Yeah.
And I was like, is it Steve-O? Or not Steve-O, but Steve Will Do It. Because he's the one that does like the crazy shit where he jumps off his house and like does all these weird things. He got banned from YouTube. He's on Rumble, I think. But I get that you might think that they're a bunch of immature dudes just doing immature dude things. But hey, man, they got two.
Listen, we grew up on Jackass.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's from what you're explaining and how you're explaining them to me, because I've only seen them in that one interview that they did with Schultz or whatever. And from what it sounds like is that they're just Jackass now. Like, I lived for that. I grew up watching that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let me say hello. Hey, Jody. Gus, what's up? What you got? I don't think the Nelk boys care enough to explain themselves.
Fair.
I don't think so either.
No.
I mean, they literally were scared to death in a couple of interviews because they knew, like, it's almost like they just got high profile people and then didn't know what to do when they got them.
Yeah.
I mean, fake it till you make it. They did kind of, but
yeah,
it's to me, it's entertaining. I'm okay with it just being entertaining and not being kind of substance based. Like
Mhm.
if it's entertaining to me, I'll probably watch it, whether I watch it that day or
Right.
a week later. But
Right.
Kenneth, what's up, dude? No idea who these people are. Yeah, you wouldn't. I found it because of other things that I've watched.
Mhm.
But if Andrew went on that show, Judy Reed, Jackass was funny, ridiculous on MTV. That's what they are. That is literally what they are.
Yeah, ridiculousness is so funny.
And can you imagine Andrew Hiller being on a Jackass type of show?
Oh my God.
Like, it would be the most entertaining shit ever because he'd be like,
Mhm.
what are you talking about?
Yeah.
What are you
Yep.
saying to me right now?
Yep.
Is this real? Are you a real person? Is this AI?
Can you explain this to
Are
me?
you a NPC? Like what is happening right now? And I would freaking sit around and love it.
Mhm.
I don't know. Or this real Matthew. What's up, dude?
Yeah, but that's funny though, because I saw that too, and I was like, "Here, I'm here for another no rep video," because that's how I started watching Hiller before,
Yeah.
his other stuff like that, like his other videos and whatever. And I always love a good no rep video. So when you had said that it's the same guys from the Schultz, I was like, "Wait, hold on a second," and then I was like, it just is what it is.
It would be so fun only because they would they would not watch one freaking video from Hiller's page.
Mhm.
They would go onto his Instagram, look up his Instagram, and have no idea who Hiller is or what Hiller does. And it would be amazing.
Mhm.
I would love it. But Kyle is a nice guy. The guy that he's kind of the lead on the podcast.
Mhm.
And Kyle's kind of the nice guy. So I can imagine him, but I can just see Steiny being butthurt the entire time
Because of Hiller's video?
because of Hiller talking, period. Like I can just,
Why? I mean,
Steiny is the sensitive one. He's the one that
yeah, but with Hiller's platform, and if you do a smidge of research and you realize how big of a person he is in such a community like CrossFit and more, you know what I
yeah,
mean? Like it's just gonna get more eyes on their channels anyways.
I think it would be amazing.
Yeah.
I think it would be amazing because the way that the chat is and the followers are for Hiller
Mhm.
and the way that what real Matthew Nelk boy is softer than baby shit. Steiny, right? It's like they really don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. They won't take a stance anywhere.
Mm.
And to watch Hiller, the king of stances,
Yeah.
that would be fucking it would just be fire.
So what you're saying is
I wanna
you wanna see we're gonna sit front row.
Yes, I wanna
I'll bring the
find a way.
popcorn and
Yes.
let's just listen to them talk to each other.
Yes.
That's what you're looking forward to and hope that
Yes.
that actually happens. Yeah.
Kenneth, yes, he's big in a very niche crowd though. Yeah, and I hope the Nelk boys
Yeah.
I hope I'd never wish for I never say hey, anybody's crowd go jump on somebody else and make them
Right.
feel like shit. I
Yeah.
never ever say that.
Yeah.
But if I could say right now, hey, go tell the Nelk boys to have Hiller on their show or to go on Hiller's show, go do that because that would be freaking fire. It would
Mhm.
be amazing them mixing together with, and I don't know what they were doing. I don't know if they were doing High Rocks. I don't know if they were doing CrossFit.
No, it was High Rocks.
It
It said High Rocks
but
on it. Yeah.
it was, if they could mesh, it would be amazing.
Mhm.
But yes, real Matthew, I absolutely agree with you. They are just trying to be nice all the time and they don't yeah. Gus, what's up? Do you think those guys actually knew the standards for that? Probably not. I'm not even sure that they cared. But just the fact that they get called out on something, I hope that they
But do you think that Hiller knew who they were, or do you think that it's just he saw someone sent him a video of these particular guys not squatting to depth, and whatever. Like, do you actually
Oh no, that's why I think it's even more amazing.
Oh.
I don't think Hiller actually knows who they are, except for the fact that they have a lot of followers.
Oh, gotcha.
And so if they got on a podcast and just talked about YouTube shit and like, because the Nelk boys have a lot of athletes on their show. I mean, it's mostly, I think, UFC, and Jake Paul. But they have athletes on their show. Like, so, and if Hiller was like, hey, I'm on steroids too, like, I'm sure they'd be like, yo, let's go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it would be amazing because I don't think Hiller knows who they actually are. And I don't think they know who he actually, it would be the most amazing.
You just want to be a fly on the wall.
I just want to see them.
You want to be a fly on the wall and see this shit happen and come together. Yeah.
Brandon Lecoq, what's up? Been a minute. What's up, ladies?
Hey.
Yeah, dude. Good to see you.
Hey.
Yeah, I think that would be so fucking entertaining.
Yeah.
On so many levels. And they're just not the same personalities. And to see two different podcasts that are not the same personality type talk to each other and have a conversation, that would be fucking funny.
Yeah.
It would be amazing.
Yeah, for sure.
So
for sure.
I hope they do it. Nelk boys, I hope you answer Andrew Hiller, because that would be fire.
Be funny to watch,
dude,
and listen to. Yeah.
Well, anybody, like, they have everybody on that they're not comfortable with. I don't know why. I do know why. I get it, but you don't do research for it. People you don't know, you don't do research for that. It's crazy to me.
Yeah.
What else? We got Kamala going on this.
Well, you found this and you told me. So I saw a reel of her on a podcast, and I didn't know. I didn't do my research. I just saw that she was on a podcast, and then when I came to see you, and you were talking and started to tell me, I was like, wait, what's this podcast? What's the information? So go ahead, honey, tell everybody what you found.
So this is amazing. And this is a podcast that I don't know, it's like the fourth biggest podcast, whatever. And they were just bought out for like, I don't know, 60 something $million. And get this, get what the podcast is called. It's called Call Her Daddy. So this is the podcast that Kamala decides to go on, right? She's not going on Piers Morgan. She's not going on like PVD PVD. She's not going on Theo Vaughn. She's not going on fucking anything else. She's going on Call Her Daddy, which literally is a podcast. I don't even know what the host name is. She's a blonde girl. And she literally, that whole podcast is just talking about how women shit, women narratives, women having sex, tampons, periods, like it's women stuff.
I'm here for it. Let's talk about it.
Right? Oh, Bruce Wayne is the second biggest podcast. Is it? Call Her Daddy? Second biggest? I heard 4, but you could be right. That's fine. But they just got bought out for like a fucking ton. And they are way worse than we have ever been talking about our sex lives or talking about anything like that. So I forget who she went on, and she was talking about like, don't chew a dude's dick while you're giving head or something. It's so racy, and like, I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it at all.
How many men shows are like that? I mean,
that's fine. You want to give tips and tricks. It's a great night out for women. If you're not leaving your house and you just want to go have a women's night out and watch this podcast, it's fucking funny. It's fire. It's whatever. It's not something I would watch all the time, but if you just want to get away from stupid shit or shit that's stressing you out or whatever, it's funny.
Yeah.
The real Matthew, a little grinding acceptable. Judy Reed, I feel like she's doing Bill Clinton did, wooing the MTV. Yeah. That's exactly what I thought when I saw it too. If like trying to reach 20 something women,
Yeah, million.
millennial
Yeah.
women. I don't know how many dudes. I don't think there's a lot of dudes watching that podcast, but if you want to reach like 20 somethings girls, that's what you're gonna get.
Mhm.
Funny thing for me is because this poor host, and she's this blonde, blue-haired white girl in her 20s, talking to her, and she's talking as a woman. Like she's talking woman to woman, like
Mhm.
biological woman to biological woman.
Mhm.
And Kamala didn't know what a woman was freaking 4 months ago. And so this girl is talking about how, do like men know how many tampons we go through? Do they know this? Blah, 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 blah. And Kamala's like, and she even brings up the XY chromosomes, XX chromosomes, all this crap. And Kamala's like, yeah, did you know I was the first female vice president? And she said president, by the way. If you go listen to it, she says, I was the first
Mhm.
female vice president to walk into like a female clinic to see what's happening. And just completely skates over everything that,
Yeah.
you know what I
I
mean?
feel like that there's not really answers to the questions or staying on topic that
She went on a platform that a lot of libtard went, yeah, yep, fair. She's doing anything, vindicate. She's doing anything she can to get votes for sure. Yep.
so this host actually was talking and asking, like, actually having a conversation
Yeah,
with
she
her
was.
and wasn't
Yeah.
just
No.
fangirling,
Uh-uh.
wasn't, "Oh my god, she's actually here." It
No,
literally was
the best one was while there was a conversation where they're talking about abortion bans and whatever, and the whole Georgia thing and blah, blah, blah. And this poor host goes, hey, oh shit, I'm paraphrasing, but she's like, hey, as a privileged white woman who knows that she can go wherever she wants to go and do whatever she wants, blah, 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 blah. I understand that like states with abortion bans, these poor, underprivileged like women won't be able to do that. You felt like you had to say that? You felt like you had to say that you're a privileged white woman.
the host did.
Yeah, the
Mm,
host felt like that.
mhm.
So then in my mind, I'm like, well, how much privilege does Kamala have right now? Like, she's kind of like this girl looks scared to ask her questions,
Mhm.
and Kamala's not making her feel any more at ease about it.
Well, you have to be careful, and
Like, but what's the definition of fucking privilege then?
mm,
You know what I mean? Like,
mhm.
is it is it that you didn't grow up with anything? Is it that your parents had to work 3 jobs and you were a latchkey kid? What is the definition of privilege? Because there's a
Mhm.
lot of white people that didn't like, that's how they grew up. You know what I mean? It's not I don't is it what are we basing it on privileges because of cops? Like,
Yeah.
because is
Yep.
that it? Because
Or is it another
like, I just don't know what it is. I'm genuinely asking. I don't know why it's a thing.
do you think that it is like most
Like, is it privilege
trigger
because you
like
have healthcare? Because I definitely like, you know what I mean? Like, I had healthcare as a kid, then I didn't, and then I had healthcare because I went into the military. Like,
I feel like
I
that
don't
the
know what it
definition
is.
changes per the situation. You know what I mean? Like, we can have the conversation that I'm privileged because I'm white. I
But
was
just
I
that? Is that the only definition of you
but
being
but
privileged?
that's the thing. I was not privileged. I grew up poor. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't have a lot. So it's like I think that it because then you see people that now are considered privileged that did a lot of work to get to where they're at. But once you get to a certain level, in certain conversations, then you are now privileged because of where you're at. And so all the hard work that you did to get there is now completely eliminated. Like, we don't talk about that
Yeah, it's
anymore.
considered privilege because you did it. It's not considered how hard you worked when you worked for it.
Or it's considered privilege now because you do have things such as good health insurance, for instance. Like, that's now a privilege, but they don't talk about the hard work that you had to do to get to the status of having good health insurance, for instance.
Oh, wait, I like this. Hold on. Lecoq, come back. Are you?
I'm not touching anything, but I know which one you want. I got it.
Yeah, thank you. Because a special right, advantage, or immunity granted or available only to a particular person or group. Education is a right, not a privilege. Yeah, fair. I just don't think we know who these special privileges are going to at this point. Like, I think it's I don't know. With Prop 1 coming up, I don't, because then it literally gives anybody the right to be like, hey, I have too many Asians working in my store. I need to make it equal amount of people working in my store. So I have to hire more white people or more black people. A school could say, hey, I have too many black people in here. Now I have to get more Asians in here. I have to get more. That's Prop 1. So it's like this clusterfuck of weird DEI things that it leaves it up to whoever is in charge of running the establishment or running the university or running admissions or running whatever.
Yeah, I think in the ways that I've seen it, heard about it, read about it, I think that it depends on the specific situation that people want to use the word privileged.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because now, again, I'm just using my own experience. Our son is in a really good school. So people are going to look at that as a privilege.
Yeah.
But I don't come from privilege. If you're talking finance in a good, a good place, but then you kind of look at where I did go to school and technically it wasn't the worst of the worst. So is that privilege? Like, I think it just depends on.
I know. Does it matter what school you went to? Does it matter what?
Yeah, of course it does. Of course it does, because certain schools are considered better schools than the other.
No, it was a weird interview. I get why she went on the show.
But when it comes to having conversations out loud in public, we say this all the time. Like, you say the wrong thing and you can lose everything. This woman has built her podcast up to be what it is. She has one interview that isn't received the right way, or she asks the question wrong, or in a way that people feel like that it was wrongly asked, then she could lose everything.
Bruce Wayne, I'm not understanding the question. The question of who's got privilege, because that we don't understand what the definition of privilege is to be able to say who's got privilege or who doesn't. That seems to be the kind of the overwhelming consensus right now. I have no idea. I don't know. I'm generally asking and trying to talk it out because there's no, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Did anyone watch this podcast? Are you talking about the Call Her Daddy podcast?
The podcast you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, I watched it.
Yeah.
For a second, I will say this, for a second, it felt like she knew what a woman was. For a second, it felt like she was kind of was a little bit more centrist. There were pockets of it. I personally, even if I want to believe that she might be becoming a little bit more centrist, I don't think that she actually is. I think she's trying to sound like it.
Mm-hmm.
So that we think that her policies that she's making or not even her policies, but the Democrats' policies that they're making aren't really, you know what I mean, a big deal, but they are. So I personally don't believe it. But, you know, I mean, like I said in other podcasts, they're making her sound semi good right now. But if you go into the Call Her Daddy podcast, the whole Georgia thing with the woman that that ended up dying, and they're saying that she died because she had because there was an abortion ban. That isn't true, and she does continuously say that, and you know, say that rhetoric, and it's not true. That's not why that woman died. I mean, it was very sad how that woman died, and I think it was just hospital negligence for me. But you know, but yeah, I did watch it. You can watch clips of it, and then I feel like it's on Spotify in its entirety.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a little crazy. I don't know. It's fine. I just thought it was weird that she went on that she chose that one. But I also get that she wants the demographic and she has to get her face out to as many people as she possibly can.
Yeah, because she still really isn't doing interviews for like mainstream media.
I mean,
right? A little maybe now.
Well, did she do that one where her teleprompter went out? I feel like she did that one.
Oh yeah, I did see something about that.
And but I haven't seen that, so I'm not gonna say how I feel about that one way or another. But I just heard something where her teleprompter went out and she didn't. Whatever. So
yeah. I mean, listen, people are gonna do what they have to do.
HGR, CBD Athletics. Harris had the privilege of being Montel Williams' side piece back in the day. Yeah, did you see those pictures? There's some pictures that came out about that.
I saw those.
That's crazy.
I saw those pictures.
Also, does anybody think that Beyonce didn't have Blue Ivy? That's not her baby?
Listen,
anybody else think that? I saw that.
That video that's going around, it's resurfacing again, where she is going to sit down and
allegedly.
Yeah. So I don't know. Listen, all I can say is that there's some weird shit out there. That's about as much as, and again, like you're on the internet, people are going to say what they say and they're going to share what they share. And you can't believe everything that you hear, but like, I can believe that there's a lot of shitty, crazy shit going on in this world. So, but
yeah, Bruce, I thought the same thing. She would get pressed by Rogan or even Bill Maher, or I mean, any of like just Patrick Ben-David, like any of them. Like she's doing Call Her Daddy. I mean, okay, fine, but
like, isn't it actually the fight to
also
Jody,
all I can say is she's got to ditch the pantsuit look. Awful. Hey girl, happy birthday. I know your birthday was over the weekend. I'm sorry I didn't get to say it to you before, but happy birthday, lady. Go ahead.
But isn't actually the fight the next couple weeks until the election to get people that don't already support you to support you?
Yeah.
So what is the best way to do that? Isn't it to sit down and have a conversation with an opposing
side?
Yeah.
And tell us why we think.
And again, have a conversation, and you might not change everybody's mind, but there's some things that maybe, because even when we were watching the debate, I looked at you and I was like, okay, I can get down with her when she says this.
They're a little.
I was like, I can get down with that. Again, the main things that I don't cross the line on, kids and that kind of stuff. Like, you're not going to persuade me and shift my feelings on that. But I can get behind that. And I still believe that it is a woman's choice and what she wants to do with her body. And I don't think that somebody should tell her what she should do with her body. I believe that. So when she was saying that on the debate, I was like, oh, okay. Someone listening to this the first time, I could get why they would start to believe her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, if she's trying to win, and same thing with Trump. If Trump's trying to win, what he's trying to do is persuade the ones that are not on his team yet and don't believe in him yet.
Well, who
and
said
then
it?
Vice versa,
Oh, did I miss something, Vindicate? Watch the 60 Minutes interview. She got grilled. Oh shit, I missed that. Okay. Yeah, I definitely will. Even Tampon Tim went on Fox. That dude is I don't
Well, Bruce said in the one before that, she's trying to win the ones that are on the edge. Like, but my question is that do you think that going on a podcast that already supports that side is the way to win over the ones on the edge? Or am I missing that? Because I would think that if you're trying to win the people that aren't sure, that are kind of not really sure, like you said, on the edge, doesn't it make more sense to go towards the other, like have a conversation with the other side?
Well, just like I said, like I was willing a couple of times where she's been I was willing to listen to her.
Yeah.
And then it just went all downhill when she went on these different media outlets, and then knowing that Prop 1 is coming up, and she said on the Call Her Daddy interview, the host asked her, "Hey, Trump said he'd be the one to protect women. What do you have to say about that?" And she was like, "No, no, no. Listen to how he talks about women. Listen to." Okay, fine, whatever. You might not like how he talks about women. You might not like him as a person, but their policies protect women. And then she was asked like what her policies are. And she was like, well, hey, policy doesn't matter. Policy is, show me how policy affects real people. Okay, well, go look at all the NCAA like female athletes that didn't fucking win because there were men in women's sports. Go look at all the high school players that got their nose fucking broken and had men in women's locker rooms. That's how policy affects regular people. Go look at all the high school kids that lost their track and field shit because there were dudes running in their sport. So you want to say like policy doesn't matter to regular people?
Yeah.
Like,
well, and listen to if you actually take the time, listen to all of the detransition stories and how it all comes out that adults that were supposed to protect them from their parents took advantage of them. And now when they need these people the most that were there telling them that their parents don't love them and their parents don't support them and that they are the ones that love and support them, where are they now? They're nowhere to be found. And it's their parents that are going through the work with them, that are going through the healing process with them, that are trying to every single day show them that life is worth living. Like, have you listened to those stories? Like, I'm not saying fine as an adult, do what you want as an adult. And if a bunch of adults in these professional leagues want to get together and as adults they want to create another group where trans men and trans women can compete in their own section, fine, as adults. But we're talking about children. We're talking about children.
Also,
and that
I listened to fucking Charlemagne the God the other day talk about how like there was a commercial put up. It was a Trump commercial, right? And they put that shit up about how, you know, Kamala supports getting your trans surgeries and trans whatever in jail and blah, blah, blah. And I listened to him sit around and say, oh, who really cares? How does that really affect anybody? It doesn't affect my life. It doesn't affect, you know what I mean? Anything. I don't care. It doesn't affect me. I'm not voting for that. Okay. How does it affect you? Dude, because he didn't even bother to dig any deeper. Like they're putting men in women's jail cells. Women are getting raped by that. They're not actually getting surgeries. They're just giving them like hormone replacements. And then that translates by the fact that now it's okay to put men in women's sports, and it's okay for men to get women's scholarships, and it's okay. It just for men to be in women's bathrooms, locker rooms, whatever. And it just trickles down into that. It's like, dude, really? But people just don't care because it doesn't affect them. And you can say like the abortion thing doesn't affect me, It does, though. It does. When I vote for stuff like that, I'm a woman. The abortion shit does affect me. I I'm not in menopause. If I get fucking stuck in a men's bathroom or in a woman's bathroom with a dude that wants to whatever, or I get stuck on the side of the road or I whatever, it's very possible I can be pregnant. I'm not there yet where I still got eggs coming out.
Mhm.
It does affect me. It does affect you. We can still get pregnant even though you want to be like, hey, they're lesbians, they can't get pregnant. If someone wants to violate us, we can.
Mhm.
Like, it's still I'm not ignoring something because I feel like it doesn't affect me or affect somebody I love or affect somebody that, I care about.
Mhm.
It does.
Mhm.
So for him to say that pissed me the fuck off. I was like, dude, bye. You don't okay, when it affects you when there's a dude running against your daughter in track, fine. Come talk to me about it later.
Mhm.
Sorry.
Not
Like,
not sorry.
but then you wanna go say and we just watched this documentary, it's on Hulu, it's called Text Me When You Get Home.
Whew.
We just
Mm.
watched this documentary about, like, it's basically about how women get, they just go out and then they disappear, and it's about teaching women how to, go out and be safe and whatever.
Mhm.
And there's you can do it the right way or you can do it like, you can take a chance and go to the club and come home at 12 o'clock and whatever, or you can one girl was in a Target, middle of the day, Target parking lot
Literally in a Target parking
with
lot.
a
Mhm.
ton of people around and just got thrown into a car and stolen.
Mhm. Mhm.
It don't tell me it
And
does.
then you have the one where the girl knew the guy that took her.
Yeah.
Literally knew the
You know
guy
the
that you
person,
know the
you
person.
don't know the person. It doesn't matter. You can do all the one girl that got taken
Mhm.
was on her way in the middle of the day to go visit her family. She went home to get her shit to be able to get on the plane. And a dude that was the maintenance guy had the key to her apartment and
Yep.
was in there and took her.
Yep. Yep. Mhm.
You can do all the right things and shit happens and you can like go
Mhm.
out there and test after midnight
Mhm.
and it can happen.
And listen, and we talk about this all the time about, you hear that you can't be a helicopter parent, you can't do this, you can't do that. Listen, I would rather be that family that gave the girl that did everything. The family did everything right. The father came up and put extra locks on the door.
Yep, windows.
They
The
are on the
windows.
windows.
Yep,
They
secured
had
the
they had
windows,
everything. She literally worked in the same a
building as her
building
where
as
she
her
lived.
apartment where
Yep.
she lived, so she didn't have to go very far. They knew exactly who was in the college that she went through, everything. Like they did everything right.
And
They
it
they
still
gave
went wrong.
her every tool that they possibly can have. And we are those parents than the parents that didn't. And this is something that, we were going to talk about too. Like I I didn't have these talks when I was younger. I didn't have the sex talk when I was younger. I didn't have the, don't go out after midnight conversation.
Don't pay or don't drink somebody else's drink,
Don't
carry your keys,
I
all those things
never
that mothers tell their daughters.
I
I was given
n
those.
I never
I
had
had
any
all
of
of them.
those.
Oh yeah, don't walk around at night by yourself, always be in a group. Like I had my grandparents gave me all those talks.
I
And
had
you had
none.
none of them.
None.
Hold on, let me just wait, where was this? Kenneth, imagine if we had a choice of where our tax dollars went. I actually just talked to a buddy of mine about this today, and he was like, "Great, all the Democrats that want to fund sex changes in prison cells and for kids and whatever, let them fucking do it, and we won't." Like, yeah, imagine if that was a thing, and just be like, "No, I don't consent to that, so I'm not going to pay my tax
You
dollars to
mean
that."
if we got to check on our checks, like
Yeah, like,
go taxes
"Hey, I'm
go
okay
here,
with
here,
yep,
here?
yeah, like,
Can you
I'm
imagine?
okay with this and this and this, so,
Can you can you imagine if that was actually a thing?
dude, I was like, "Damn, that's an
Like,
amazing thought."
mhm.
That's crazy. Jody. Oh, Brandon Cock. Hey, what's up? And yes, I said who and then said Lou. Jody. I was very clear with my kiddos. Always blame your mother. I feel like even if you have the talk, because you and I kind of have come to this together. Your mom didn't give you the talk, and my grandparents definitely did give me all the safety talks. I don't think watching this documentary, it was kids that were walking home from their bus stop. It was early teenagers, 19, 20, 18, that were at the club and like went missing after the club. It was, that poor girl, that was the one that hit me the most. She did absolutely everything by the book and just went home to her apartment, and then she was missing for ever. Like, to me, it's just, you can give the talk or you can not give the talk.
The only thing I can say that for me personally, I think that and I can only speculate now. I can't speculate how it would be before because I never had it, and I'm an adult now, and as a mother, like, we talk about the importance of having conversations with him when he gets older to understand, like, about sex and about consent and what no means and boundaries and all of those things and safety. And, I think for me, looking back now, I could hope that it would have allowed me to find my worth within myself and the value of my own body versus finding it out after everything that I went through and still not finding out the value of my body and of the value of my worth within myself versus trying to find it with somebody else. Like, I went through what I went through, and as fucked up as it is, I'm grateful for what I went through because it led me to you. It led me to our son. It led me to this beautiful life that I have and the amazing person that I am. But like, I think what I can say is I wish that I was given the talk to just have some more information and more information. Am I saying that I would have listened? Not necessarily. Am I saying that I wouldn't have done all these stupid things that I did? Maybe. Maybe not as many. Maybe I would have had more understanding of like, this is not a good thing. This is not a good idea. And have the confidence and have a stronger voice to say, I don't need to be here. I don't need to be around these people. I don't need to drink to the point where I don't know where I am. I don't need to be around these older people. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I think that it would have given me a little bit more confidence in myself and a bigger voice to make those decisions.
Yeah, I get it. And I think that that's always impossible, or that's always important to have.
Yeah.
I definitely think that. I think that helps more than it doesn't help.
Mhm.
Everybody wants to say there's a way to stop shitty things from happening, and there just isn't. That's what I've come to. There's just not a way to stop shitty things. You can do all the right things.
A shitty person is gonna be a shitty
Yeah,
person, and the only thing that we can do is we can only focus on ourselves and give ourselves the best chance that we possibly can.
I would say watching that documentary made it very, very, very clear to me that you and I are both very lucky that
We're here.
we're still here.
Yeah.
Very, very lucky. I've taken chances. I can remember my junior year, I went with my best friend. My grandparents took us to Jamaica for a vacation, and my best friend got to go with me, and we were having a great time. Whatever. What did we do? It was like one of the in the middle of the trip, we like jumped out of the hotel. There were a couple of guys that were like, "Hey, we're going to the club." We were like, "We want to go to the club," and we fucking jumped in the back of a pickup truck and went with them. And I literally think now, as I think back on it, the only thing I think that made it okay is that they thought I was a guy. They didn't, you know what I mean? But also too, it would have been they could have very easily overpowered me and taken her. We were fucking lucky. There was nothing else but that. We were lucky that we made it back. Okay. So You
Yeah.
can prep
Yeah.
everybody the right way. You can, and I was taught everything, and it at 17,
Mhm.
you just it's yeah. There's right, Jody Lynn. Yes, there are so many opportunities for disaster in my youth. Yeah,
Mhm.
me too.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Yeah, me too. I grew up in a group that was older than me.
Yeah, you're not wrong, Vindicate.
Mhm.
Not my star. Yeah, I could have. That it would
Mhm.
have been a bad night, bro.
Mhm.
So, yeah,
But yeah, I mean, I ended up I was hanging out with people that were older than me and doing things that I shouldn't have been doing and never yeah,
it's crazy to
it could
think
have been
about.
way worse.
It's
Mhm.
absolutely crazy, and back then,
I woke up places that I didn't remember being here.
there weren't even cell phones to track you. Like, now there are cell phones to track you. There are cell phones,
Mhm.
like, I can throw
Well,
and I
that's like that's a really big part of this documentary is saying that in many of the cases it was the cell phone that
it solved the case,
it
but it didn't
solved.
save them.
Right, right. No, I'm
So
not saying
even
it
that, but
yeah.
yeah, it solved the
Mhm.
case, sure.
Mhm.
It was that documentary was insane, and, like, it doesn't make me, like, yeah, obviously, I'm gonna pay attention. There's the one where the girl literally did everything right, and it still went wrong. I literally sat there for a while. I was just like,
Mhm.
just yeah, Kenneth, evil exists.
Yep.
Like, it just does, and but yeah,
And all we can do is just do our best. Oh yeah, I was walking around my town by myself all the time when I was younger.
Kenneth, I used to be allowed to walk, ride a bike. Yeah, me too. Video
Yep.
game, get some Taco Bell.
Yep.
Yeah, yep.
No,
And
if
then right, no way I would let my fucking kid do that.
no,
Nope.
not even close.
His age, and
No.
not even, and even if he didn't have autism,
Now? Absolutely not. No.
there's no way I
No.
would let him ride his bike to the park the way that I used to.
No.
Absolutely not.
No, when we're at the park, I see him at all times.
Yeah.
Watch him at all times, and some of my friends um, kind of hate when I go hang out with them because they're trying to talk and they're like, "What are you looking at?" I'm like, "My kid."
Yeah.
I am so focused on my kid that it's great that you're here and I get to have a little adult conversation,
Yeah.
but the thing is that I am the most concerned about him. My focus is on him, seeing where he is, what he's doing, who he's talking to. Do I allow him to talk to other people? Of course I do. Of course I do.
Hey, and
But
I'm asking everybody, and I just had this quick thought, and any, like, anybody in the chat, babe, you, whatever.
mhm,
Like, we always give our girls the talk, the safety talk.
mhm.
In this day and age, do you think we have to give our boys the safety talk? Like, hey,
Yes.
don't fuck around at a sorority party because you get caught in the wrong place at the wrong time. It could
Yes.
be very bad for you. I never remember anybody giving boys the talk. But in my mind now, the way that shit's happening now, I feel like you have to kind of give your boys a talk. Like, hey, nothing good's gonna happen at a party for you after 11 o'clock.
Yeah, of
Hey,
course.
when girls start getting drunk, guess what? Go home. Like,
I
any of
think
that.
that that would have been fantastic for a lot of things. I think it would have been fantastic for a lot of things. I don't understand why you're only having conversation with girls about safe sex. I don't understand why you're only having conversations with girls about birth control. I don't understand why you're telling boys that the best way to stay safe with sex is for the girls to have birth control. I don't understand why they're not having conversations about condoms. I don't understand why they're not having conversations about consent and what that means. That and I love it was the example on Grey's Anatomy, and I don't remember it word for word, but it's pretty much like you can start a game, but the minute that somebody says no, the game is done. It's immediately done. Doesn't matter how far along you are. When somebody says no, it's no, and no means no.
Yeah. I always wondered why I
That too. Don't
I'll
have sex unless you want to have a baby. Like that, like why aren't we having those conversations? It's not just It's not just the woman's responsibility to learn how to stay safe.
Look, I'll eat my humble pie right now and I'll say, like, okay, so the early 2000s, I was in my early 20s. Yeah. And I'll eat my humble pie right now and say that I definitely ran with the crowd that was like, dudes are the ones that should have condoms. Dudes are the ones that should whatever. If, you know, like dudes are in charge, not realizing that dudes are the same age as me right now. Like, dudes are the same age as my friends right now. Dudes are trying to figure it out the same way that women are trying to figure it out.
Mhm.
And like, yeah, granted, you always have the hey, you can't force a woman talk kind of thing.
Yeah.
But also nowadays, like a guy could just be in a room and get accused of some shit
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
whatever. Or a guy could just be having what was that baseball player? He had like casual sex or something, and the girl came out and was just like, "Yo, I'm gonna take this dude for everything he's got." And but then it came out that it wasn't true, that nothing, it was just consensual sex.
Mhm.
Like guys are at risk for that. That's not an that's a thing.
I think that there's more room for conversation on a lot of
Yes, thank you,
different.
Trevor. Thank you, Kenneth. Trevor Bauer. Yeah, that dude. And he didn't like it literally, he didn't, it wasn't a he just had consensual sex with a like I guess she was a groupie or something. And she was like, I'm taking him for everything he's got, like watch, blah, 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 blah.
Mhm.
And yeah, the rough sex thing. Yep. And so do we have these talks with these young boys now? Like
We
because
should.
that shit's insane.
We need to have the honest truth about the way that this world is, and it sucks. It sucks that the way that people that there are just people out there like this. There are bad people out there, there are manipulative people out there, there are what are they called? Ambulance chasers. Like there are people out there that are just doing things for their own personal gain and benefit. They want it, so they're gonna get it no matter what. They don't care who's in their way. They don't matter. Doesn't matter who they're gonna hurt. Doesn't matter whose lives they're gonna change. As long as they get what they want,
Yeah.
that is the sad truth about this world. And that's why I believe on many topics there is room for more conversations with
I
more
think so.
topics. I am starting to pick away at it a little bit. I don't like having conversations with my kid, and I am one of those parents that wants to keep him young for a long time. However, this I also was that kid that was young until I wasn't young. And when
Right.
I say I wasn't young, I was 11,
And I'm the one that's
12.
like, "Hey, Deadpool's on." No, I'm
No.
just kidding. I've never done
No.
that. I've never done
No,
that.
we're not there yet. But certain conversations, like he's fascinated with presidents and countries and whatever. And he talks about, being born and then dying. And I'm like, why is my 7-year-old talking about dying? And I'm like, because he's learning about presidents
And when they
and when
die,
they
and when
die
they were born,
and when they were
and
born.
yeah,
And so we have again age appropriate conversations with him. But like the first time he said that, I was like, where did you hear that? And he's like, "Oh, President Washington was alive and now he's not alive anymore." And I was like, "You're not wrong." But it's showing me that like he's growing up and I don't want to have these conversations with him, but I remember what it was like to be young and that I wasn't young.
yeah.
And when I say I wasn't young, again, I was like 11 or 12. I wasn't young anymore.
And the one
You
thing
know?
I think that we have to realize too is it's the same for dudes. They're young
Yeah.
and they're not young anymore. The only difference is like
I'm not taking
we
away
don't talk about them as much. We don't talk about giving them the tools. We don't talk about, you know what I mean?
we don't talk about women's unless you have a good mom, unless you have someone that's willing to have those conversations with you. We don't talk about women's health. We don't talk about young girls' health. We don't talk about ways to protect themselves and to value themselves and to give them other forms of, you know,
Because
support and tools
because
and all
look,
this type of
casual
stuff. Like,
sex is just as scary for women as it is for dudes. Like the things that could happen to men and their life and what I mean, aside from rape, but like it's what with that. I don't know. There's repercussions to fucking casual sex. And if we don't start talking to our kids about it, it's our boys can get hurt and our girls can get hurt. And I just hate to think that we forget about our boys. Like,
well, we won't forget about our boy.
right.
So, I mean, and that's the difference. And we'll have many conversations with him when the time comes.
We always have the safety talk with women, and you should. You absolutely should. They have to. Like,
we also
you just
have to
but you have
for
to
our
for the
boys too, for our young
Yeah.
boys too. You know what I mean? Because they are just as impressionable as young girls are, and
they're gonna make mistakes
it's
too.
just like it is. Listen, we're those parents that are going to have the conversation with him.
Dude, shit changes when you have kids. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like,
I think that might be part of the reason I struggle with this idea of keeping him young and keeping him innocent.
Yeah, I know, Kenneth. Yeah, for sure. I absolutely get that. And like young boys walking home by themselves are also the same fucking thing. Like young girls walking home by themselves, young boys walking home by themselves, same thing. Like, yeah. And I think people forget that shit happens to dudes too. It's not the, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I definitely do think that. Mm-hmm. Kenneth, great YouTube channel for the ML for baseball fans. Dude, I'm about to go catch up on the Mets right now. They might almost be over, but I was about to go catch up on them where they're starting. I'm not sure yet. But yeah, that was our quick hitter quitter. Oh, do you want to tell the story about what you said in the car the other day? Because that was fire. Just to get ready for chat appreciation, my wife being super funny. The Trevor Bowers channel. No, we're not doing that.
No, he's saying that that's the channel for the great baseball, for great baseball fans.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, go do that. Trevor Bowers channel. Yeah.
We were driving in the car. We were on our way to Applebee's, and I took a sip of a Celsius, and I had to sneeze. I literally took a sip and then could feel that I had to sneeze. So I finished my Celsius and then I sneezed, and I proceeded to look at my wife and say, "Oh, I had to do a quick swallow because I had to sneeze." And she fell out like that.
Dude, quick swallow. I never heard of that.
Yeah.
But I'll save that for chat appreciation because I absolutely want to know what that is.
I told her, I was like, I don't think I can share this side of myself with all of you guys.
She didn't even say pause either. She just looked me dead in my face and she was like, "Ooh, sorry, I had to do a quick swallow." I was like, okay, is that a thing? But it was, yeah. Well, that's
So my best friend asked me today, "What does that mean?"
Yeah.
He's like, "Wait, are you like making eye contact?" Like, I was like, "No." What do you want to say? Like, you want me to spit? Is that what you wanted me to do?
Vindicate, goddamn it, Swaller, you got a good one. For real. Spitters or quitters, bro. Spitters or quitters. No, I just heard that from dudes. I don't know what that actually.
This is why I can't be on chat appreciation, because I'm just gonna do this the whole time, and my face is gonna be so fucking red. I can't hang out with you guys. If anybody wants my seat, I'm giving up my seat.
No, she's not giving up her seat.
It's not a race. People enjoy
Vindicate,
it.
bro. Thank you for our logo. Appreciate you to no end. Go get your Vindicate. Vindicate.com.
Mm-hmm.
Carl, HGR. Hopefully we'll catch up with you and talk about Summit Games. Super excited to.
I'm gonna order some of the
Oh yeah, your mom.
No, my dad.
Oh, your dad. Yeah.
The stuff that Taylor uses on his knee, the recovery, it's over here somewhere. I'm gonna order that for my dad's knee. He had knee surgery.
Fuck, Kenneth. God damn.
You missed it. I already said it.
Oh, did you?
Totally missed it. Damn. I already said it. Yeah. I already said it.
Okay.
So I'm gonna order some of that for him. I don't think Carl is going to crash.
Vindicate, you're going to crash, right?
Vindicate, aren't you driving?
Yeah.
Or are you
you're going.
Like, I saw in his story, he had his the U-Haul. He was starting his journey today.
Hope to see you.
Yeah.
And then if you guys want to support Leslie and John, his QR code's over here. Baby's coming soon. And
down here.
My kid actually loves both. He's got the Hiller bat.
Oh, hitting the road tomorrow. I saw the picture today, so it must have been he just loaded everything today.
Oh, fire.
Cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
Jody Lynn for HGR. I love my gummies. Fire.
Yeah.
So yeah, go do all that. And then hopefully we'll see you. We're probably just gonna jump on live for fun and go walk around and buy stuff on live.
Well, we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Oh yeah, and then we got Jersey Joe's coming on tomorrow. He had to, Kippen, if you're in here, my bad, bro. He had to push the podcast to 6 because he's got to go to the dentist. So my bad. But
we'll very excited to talk with him. He's a really good dude.
Yeah, we're excited to get on with him. 6 o'clock. Talk all the
Crash,
Jersey Joe
dad stuff. He was at Fittest, so talk to him about that. He also was at Strong Island, so I have the Strong Island shirt on right now.
Yeah, we gotta ask him what happened to Townsend's knee. I wonder if he saw that.
It was his quad.
Or his quad.
He was right there. He was right there. Yeah, so I wanna ask him about that or whatever. But James Townsend was there. We didn't get to go to that one, but we got these shirts from Christian Harris at the Move Fast Lift Heavy booth in the Fittest. Fight for the Fittest. So want to talk to him about that. Want to talk to him about Strong New York and whatever. Yes, he is a dad, Kenneth. We met his kiddos.
Yeah, he's got kiddos
at Vitruvian.
And actually, my son kind of looked like an amazing older brother with his youngest. It was really cute watching them run around together. Mm-hmm. It was very fun.
And no, that's not a pregnancy announcement.
No,
there's no second baby.
So yeah, hope to see you guys tomorrow. If not, then
hope to see you at Crash.
I hope to see you at Crash. And if not, we'll see you when we get back. And hope you guys have a great weekend. Enjoy the live stream from Sevon, because that's going to be fire. Hey, does anybody know if Taylor's not doing it? Is there an episode of Kill Taylor with somebody else this week? Or
I doubt it. Everybody's going to be at Crash.
I know, but I heard a little. I don't know. Maybe that's for later on. But
no, literally everybody's going to be at Crash. Who's going to be able to do it with him? I don't know. Maybe Sevon has a new friend.
No, but that's what they were talking about. At one point, they're talking about if Taylor wants to take 2-3 weeks off or something, someone will come in and fill in for Taylor.
Oh, like a Kill Taylor, but then Taylor's name is crossed out, and then they have someone.
No, it's always Taylor. I think no. Yeah, I didn't think so either. Vindicate. I think they said they might make a Crash workout to kill. Oh, that'd be fun. Okay, cool.
That's fun.
Yeah.
That's cool.
No one's beating him if he's going at full force. Pause.
He wants to beat Colton. Isn't this redemption?
Wasn't it the muscle up one? Was it the dumbbell snatches, dumbbell jerks, and muscle up ones that they
I don't know.
I think that was the one. Did I see that? I feel like I did.
I don't know.
But that'll be cool as shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully I don't know. Text me.
Very excited. I'm kind of sad tomorrow's Wednesday and it's not Thursday. I want to just go.
I know. We're ready to go.
I'm ready to go. So
fire.
Yep.
All right, guys.
All right. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks for hanging out.
Adios.
The rope and yoke. Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Deuces.